pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Kubiak?
Yes.
Trustee Weir? Trustee Weidenberger?
Yes.
Smart, Bill. We need a motion to approve the minutes and the finance committee.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Kubiak?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yes.
Trustee Weidenberger?
Yes.
Trustee Mitchell? Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here? Okay, how about the motion?
Yes.
I'm not prepared.
You missed one meeting and
Then they forget. Sorry.
Raise your chair up a little bit so you see.
Richard, you're first. You draw the end of the straw, I guess.
Yeah, we ran one structure fire. We had 40 other calls between medical and rescue and false alarms. I don't have nothing else.
But
Me.
he's at work, right?
Mhm. All right, we had 48 calls for Tilton. Day shift, we had 33, covered 31, dropped 2. Night shift, we had 15, covered 9, dropped 6. Calls to Oakwood was 15. Mutual aid requests other than Oakwood, 13, covered 13, dropped 0. We were busy on 2 calls for our own jurisdiction that we had to have somebody else. And 2 disregards to Oakwood, had 13 transfers. Do you want me to tell you that the ambulance is almost done? Maybe next week or the week. Ambulance 2 is down right now. I believe the motor is going to have to be pulled out again. Be fixed. I'm not sure if we got what it is yet.
I'm not sure without getting to us.
Yeah,
So we're down to 1 unit right at the
So
moment.
they gotta pull the motor?
yeah, they do for that oil pump.
So with that, we can't do transfers because we have to cover our 911. So. That was it.
TJ?
This is routine stuff every month with trash, maintenance on buildings, maintenance on vehicles and equipment. We had some damaged trees down from a storm on August 29th. Got all them cleaned up some that evening and following the next day. We got a couple temporary drives put in due to the G Street Bridge closure to accommodate for that. Almost all new street signs are up. We were waiting on a shipment of sign poles that got lost in transit, but they just showed up finally, so that will get wrapped up. We helped with the Toyota event. The new message boards have arrived. They came Tuesday. Yesterday and today, I've been working on the basic training on them so we can, I think we'd be able to start using them next week for anything if we need to. We got of course, we got the G Street Bridge closed and we repaired a couple catch basins on Grant and one on Delwood. And then I wanted to have the parking lot at 100 East 5th put out for bids. Remove the parking lot base and tamp it and re-asphalt it. That'd be the Tilton Medical Center.
You motion.
Sure,
Advertise the
put
bid.
it on bid.
Advertise the bid.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
The building we own.
Yeah.
Yeah, we own that.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Scott Mitchell?
Yes.
Trustee Kubiak?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yes.
Trustee Weidenberger?
Yes.
Tom said MSE was over here. Tom said MSE was over doing G Street Bridge, so they'll check the companionship when we get there.
There we go.
Are we ever gonna figure out what the deal is with the water?
On the bridge.
Oh, no, right, no, yeah, right there by Suitcase.
Yeah, where we got it figured out.
That should be, we're waiting on Julie and we'll take care of that hopefully next week.
Can I ask what you found?
He's got, we're gonna hook it up to the sanitary sewer that dead end main, so it'll keep it washed out anyway. It'll be perfect.
I don't have nothing else.
That's the only place we could go back to. Yes, because it's a mess in the winter time. Bill?
Stayed about the same for the month, 362 calls for service. Made 23 arrests, 35 PNTs for the month. Ended up issuing 86 tickets with 24 warnings. Had 15 ordinance violations issued and 5 warnings for ordinance violations also issued. And that's about all I have for the month.
Tiffany?
We were, able to, buy, a lot we talked about previously. And, we've been talking about, the mayor and I and a few of the board members possibly approaching the neighbors to buy that house too,
On Second Street.
because it's so visible from the interstate and it looks bad.
The one that needs torn out.
Yeah,
So
both of them.
Yeah.
I would like, I don't know if I.
We need the authority.
Authorization
Yes,
to start negotiating.
yes.
Who owns that?
Huh?
Who owns that now?
Gloria and
Wade.
Is it?
Wade.
There's a mortgage, but it's not very much.
They're occupying it.
Yeah, the second one they are, Ryan. Yeah, that first one's empty. We took it and the 4 lots already.
And the gas and electric have been removed. So,
Didn't make it appealing.
Well,
It will,
I mean,
plus
it's
it's,
probably another step closer to helping, what you said before,
yes.
issue.
Yeah.
Down the road, we'll have to cross that bridge.
Yep, I
Yeah,
agree.
Well, that piece of property that's in there now.
and then, we got, that's
Well, there's,
on and off,
we got planners too, that isn't necessarily appealing with those houses.
exactly.
I'll make the motion that, we begin negotiations to check out what's the address of that lot.
106 east or west,
Second.
second.
106 West Second.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Mitchell? Trustee Westcoviac?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yes.
Trustee Weidenberg?
Yes.
We've done that list.
You have that phone
For,
in here. Hang on.
for what? The truck? Thought Chad was gonna bring it up.
Huh?
Thought Chad was gonna bring it up.
Where's it at? Where's Chad? Oh, sorry, Jack. Oh, sorry, buddy.
There's
Is it-
one here.
He's in his fancy clothes, leave him alone. We recognize him.
Yeah. Just so a lot of people don't know Chad, but he's up, that's the future sewer plant coming.
We'll hit the right button.
Been talking about purchasing that truck, crane truck specifically for pulling motors out of, or pumps out of the lift stations. We got a quote from Marlowe Brothers, which we bought other vehicles from. It'd been a brand new 2022 Ford 350 crew cab truck. Have a crane, the service body with a crane on it, specifically for what we need. They got a price on here. We're looking at 5 to 6 months to get it. At this price, it's $96,910. So if they can get a bed that they can actually beef up for the crane, be an additional $2,680, which would be $99 altogether. But we can get that in 6 to 8 weeks.
Is that what the Tommy could be?
The reason I'm saying that is I understand you have a crane, but thing it is, Tommy gets really nice when you're dealing with pumps and all that.
I don't know if they can get all that on there.
I don't, the outrigger, it's got outriggers built into the bumper, so I don't know the way that would be set up. It could clear that bumper that sticks out farther because the outriggers are built into it for the crane.
we talked to Danville and looked at their truck and took a lot of suggestions from them as what, as far as like the crane, we're looking at a 3,600 pound crane, because the new lift stations, one of the new lift stations they're putting in,
Two of them.
are 1,400 pounds.
Two of them.
Well, we're putting in
Good lifts.
two, but there's one Jefferson Street, those pumps are 1,400 pounds, or as big as I am, tall, and there's something pretty substantial.
So you talked to Finley?
Yes. And a lot of this is his recommendation. They do quite a few of them. And I just talked to him today. Danville's got 29 lift stations. And with the two that they're adding to us, we're gonna have 16 that Tilton owns. And we got 3 private that I understand that we service. So you're looking at 19 lift stations that we have to take care of.
So you think you can get by without a pump lift, I mean, that's up to you.
You wanna add it, Billy?
Most of your areas don't have Tommy gets in there.
I don't say most
Their
of
pump
them
trucks,
trucks don't have the Tommy gate. I mean, you take the crane, set it right,
Right in your truck.
set it right in the back of the truck.
See, yeah, but I'm the type of guy, I look at multi-use.
Yep.
Well, you'd be able to pick up a lot of things, and I don't know if you'd be able to get the Tommy gate on there. I mean, you're already.
Well, what I'm saying is a lot of things don't have a hook,
Uh,
a lot of things don't have a hook. That's what I'm saying, multi-use.
Well, you already got the I mean, you're on a 1-ton chassis, and you're already putting a crane on with the service bed, so you're already
You have to jump
getting
up
close to the
550 if you're doing-
GVW of that vehicle. So, I mean, if you try to do something like that, I'm sure you're going to have to step up, and you're probably looking at a lot more money.
Well, I'm looking at the fact, again, if I gotta put something on the back of that truck, got any weight to it whatsoever, I mean, let's say a welding unit or a generator, or most generators have a hook on it.
Yeah, everything you mentioned's got a hook on it. So, but yeah, I mean,
Ultimately, you're gonna be the one using the truck, so if you're okay with the way it's spec, then you believe, and TJ believes that this is gonna be,
yeah, I
Suitable
mean,
for
we're
us.
looking at hopefully taking some of this over pretty quick.
So you're saying you need this reinforcement, Chad?
yeah, it's.
Yeah, in order to get it quicker in the 6 to 8 weeks, they can take a bed that they already have and reinforce it and put the crane on that bed and get it to us quicker. And he said the lead, if they make the bed specifically, it could be 5 to 6 months or maybe longer.
The cab and chassis is in stock right now at Morrow Brothers.
So you're saying that if we go with them reinforcing let me just make sure I understand this. So we say, yes, go ahead, we'll pay the extra $2,600 and some change. We can have it sooner than if we have them custom
Yes.
build the crane.
Yes, you can
Well, I
have it.
think that's a no-brainer that we get it, because right now we don't have the ability, if something goes down, we're relying on somebody else, and not ourselves. And I don't think $2,600 is too bad of a price.
The way I understand on a lot of things, those lead times are getting,
Further and
they're
further.
telling you 5 to 6 months, but they're actually getting farther and
Oh,
farther.
yeah, and 5 months are gonna pay another 5 to 6 months, and it's just gonna be a game that you're gonna play. So we need a motion.
Yep.
I make a motion that we purchase this truck with, go ahead and do the, reinforcement addition for the $2,680.
Second.
Who said second?
I did. I just
Oh.
asked for a second.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Mitchell.
Yes.
Trustee Koviak,
Yes.
trustee Weir,
Yes.
trustee Weidenberg.
Jeff, is that you?
You want to go to audience? Yeah, what you want to do?
It's whatever you want,
Huh? What you said?
whatever. I
Okay.
just forgot to put it down here.
Anybody in the audience have anything?
Yeah.
Okay,
While
go
we're
ahead.
going on this, do you want to file?
Would it be beneficial?
Plows are always beneficial.
Well, I'll tell you what it is, if you have to get in somewhere.
I mean, that's also something we could do at a later time if need be.
You can get that.
He didn't quote it with none of the stuff on it.
Well, the only reason I'm asking that is everybody understands how inflation's going right now. Here in this plow, we almost increased by a quarter.
Right.
So I'm just asking, is there a block for a plow for that truck? And one of the things about it now, the cost is.
Usually about five.
Second one.
What we've
We're
been
gonna have
doing,
Ron,
I don't
Ron equipment do that one though, right?
If they have to
Yeah.
outfit
We'd
it.
have to get a quote, but yeah, I mean,
Well,
17.
what I'm saying is,
Oh.
you check it.
They have to put everything on.
You can deal on it.
No.
Purchase
Can
it,
probably.
the truck.
Not on a plow like that.
And
Okay.
If you're talking dump truck, you're looking $15,000. No, this is like a pickup. You're,
Just a Western block,
yeah,
yes,
the bigger ones.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I would say if you wanted, if you thought it was beneficial, get a quote, but I mean, I think that.
And the other reason I brought it up was too, because back in the front bumper on this, to see if there's any modification has to be done to have a plow.
Yep, right.
That's why I asked.
Yep. You might call Morrow Brothers and see what it takes.
If I can get a hold of it.
Good luck.
Thanks, Chad.
Now, anybody in the audience have anything? Doug?
I just want to thank Mike Weinberg and Ryan and Bob, and all the people who put together the event, Toyota, Scotty, I was on the committee, but I think they did a fantastic job. I think it went real well. I just want to tell them thank you.
Yes, they done a good job. Doug?
Doug Tool, I'm here representing both the county health department and Keep Vermillion County Beautiful. Guess it's one. I got a couple of events coming up, want to make sure the board's aware of. Our fall electronics collections coming up on Saturday, October 15th. So next month from today. It's going to be an opportunity to get rid of a lot of electronics plus televisions and computer monitors. We got a couple recyclers in the area of Bryant and Mervis that take a number of electronics through the week. They do not take television monitors. So if you have a TV or monitor you're trying to get rid of, this is your chance.
Can the city do that too, Doug?
Excuse me?
Can the city do that too for us? Got it, okay.
We say it runs from 9 to 11. We start really unloading the first vehicle about 7:30 in the morning or so. So really it's not bad. By doing 2 of these a year instead of just 1 a year, those hour-and-a-half lines are not a thing anymore. Most people aren't in line any longer than an hour, even during the busy times.
Doug, does people really still have 2 TVs?
I keep thinking we've seen our last projection TV, and we have not. Last guy who dropped off a projection TV said the sound just stopped working on the set.
I know they were built to last, but good grief.
What we've been told is that what Mike Bryant said is that the number of televisions we get is gonna go up, but the weight is gonna go down. We're gonna go from the large
Right,
ones
large
to
screen.
the small ones aren't built to last like they were. So the numbers will be up, but the poundage will be down, space.
That makes sense.
So I'd be happy to see everyone there. Get on our Facebook page, please share it around.
We'll get it on our Facebook or website.
Got some information about a tire collection opportunity. Been doing this the last few years. It's not open to the public, but municipalities and township highway supervisors that pick up waste tires, if you can get them to the Danville Township Highway Garage by Danville Stadium, anytime in the month of October, then around the 1st of November, we're gonna have a contractor come in and pick them up. So someone who has a bunch of tires in their backyard can't be part of the collection, but if the village picks up those tires, now they are village tires, and they're okay for this sort of thing. Send a letter to the mayors about that. I don't really promote this, it's more of a direct marketing thing, because it feels mean to tell people, here, we're having this tire collection, and you can't be part of it. So just trying to talk directly to the municipalities and township supervisors. AJ is just asking when you've got tires you're gonna take, if you can give them an idea of the count, we have to let the contractor know, and give them a heads up when you're going. He just wants to be sure he's gonna have staff there and be able to receive it when you get there. And now that I've talked to all the good stuff, we'll talk about membership in Keep Vermillion County Beautiful.
Bill you money, I think.
Department, I'm also president of the organization. Brenda couldn't be here tonight, but you've been a great supporter of the organization for a number of years. We'd love to have someone from Tilton at our meetings. I don't live in Tilton, she doesn't live in Tilton, so it'd be a way for you to be more in touch with us about what kind of events are coming up, what help promote and help take care of. So it's been great to have you as a member in the past. We're hoping to do that going forward.
Good job, Brian.
Do you have a,
No,
I like when Yvonne told me to do stuff. What do we usually, what is the?
1,000 is what we usually get.
I'll make the motion that we renew our membership for $1,000.
a second is.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Mitchell?
Yes.
Trustee Westcoviac?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
That's hard to believe.
I'm just looking at a W. Trustee Whitenburner? Yes. Don't say nothing, I'm out of order. I just realized that.
You've been out of order.
You guys are mean.
Anybody else in public?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you. Here, Doug.
Oh, got somebody in run, huh?
You got something back here?
Yes,
Good. Yeah, come on up.
we are, my name's Justin Mornack. We've both been long life Permian County people. I actually work at Caliber, which used to be Todd's.
Hold on just a second. I want to let them know it's the STIR tip application.
Yeah, stir tip application, yeah.
Packet.
We, right now, we are occupying Paul Office in middle. It's Sweet B. It is 3 unit for the old gas station utility. And, we're doing that right now. We're doing it's Herbalife, but it's a healthy drink option for stuff. It's a lot of stuff sugar-free, tea-based stuff. Yeah, aloe water. There's iced coffees that are high protein. They're really good for you. Unlike some like the Starbucks stuff. We don't have anything down this way like that. We have there's a sister store in St. Joe that a lot of people from this area come from. So we started talking to them and they said, you need to put some in Danville. We went to Danville and they kind of just shrugged us off. So we started talking to Paul, we got with him, and then I know a lot of people in Tilton area from working at Todd's, and got to the right people, and we're gonna make this happen. So, the build out's fairly expensive. Got signage and all that stuff, so we thought we'd come to the board and bring something new to the area. Maybe they can help us out. So we gave you guys all copies of everything we can make. If you guys want to get it, we have Facebook and Instagram. Stir Tilton is the name. We have samples of one of our drinks without the, it's called Liftoff. It's an energy booster. I mean, it's like an energy drink, but it's half the sugar, no sugar. I mean, I'm a huge Monster person. But you drink these, me and her have been doing this now for a month, and I've lost 10 pounds without drinking. I've been getting rid of pop, drinking water. I mean, feel a lot better. But there's a lot of flavors. You try them all if you want. They got a lot of flavors of iced coffees. They got blended shakes, regular teas, aloe water. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to try. So we'll give it a shot. We've had they told us that they project that we could sell at least on a minimum of 100 drinks a day. So right now we're going to try to go 7 days a week. And she's got to run it because I got a full-time job. And we're probably going to end up hiring some people.
Is this a franchise or they're just?
It's not a franchise, it's like a distributor thing.
Gotcha.
We didn't have to buy into Herbalife to do it. I mean, the health food club that they have takes a certain amount of points.
Right.
And she's got people that she's signed up and they bought things. We have some little pamphlets too. They have a lot more stuff. And if anybody gets on there and buys under her and stuff, if people's wives want to get into it and buy stuff, you get discounts. I mean, there's anything from vitamins to kids stuff to, there's all kinds of stuff in there. But it's just a healthier thing to pop and stuff like that.
Basically, they're providing the product and you guys are providing the storefront to sell it.
Yep.
Well, we have to buy the product.
Well, I get that, but I'm saying you're getting that.
Yeah, we're getting that stuff through them, and then we use our storefront to basically make the drinks and distribute the product. If anybody buys anything or wants to have something shipped off the website to there, they can pick it up there. I mean, it's.
Your middleman, retailers.
What we need.
Just always trying to.
You said there's one in St. Joe?
There's one in St. Joe called the One Spot.
Oh,
There's actually, we have some cards. There's actually, the people in St. Joe own 3 other locations. And then there's another one that's right off from them that's out on the fields. And we got with them and got in on this.
Those are all the locations that we have
It's
in that right now.
something she wants to do, so I got back her. We gotta make this work. We have 2 kids. We have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and she's been at home enough. So we had to get her something that she wanted to get involved in. But.
It's work.
And I'm the one, if you go by there and you see lights on and you see a bar in there, we're doing all the painting. We built the bar. Gentleman's doing the countertops.
Have you got a cost so far, or, I mean, what's it costing you for the build out?
Right now with, by the time we get a sign, we're waiting on a quote for the sign. We got a couple of places giving us quotes. With all the flooring, we use Danville flooring, for the flooring. We're probably gonna have somewhere between 20 to 30 grand in the build out. I mean, we've got, and everything we've met with the health department, got with them, got everything, yeah, we're good to go with the health department.
We have a TIF consultant that we need approval to send it to the consultant, which is in Edwardsville, Illinois. And I know we're gonna get Gary help.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it.
But we'll let him decide, and it may be a one-time grant and then pay your rent for a couple months or something, okay?
Yeah. Appreciate it. If anybody wants, we'll stick around for the rest of the meeting. If anybody wants anything, I can try that. Just come on.
Thank you.
So we definitely appreciate you building here in Tilton
Yeah.
very much.
We need a
And we
motion
will
for that.
also, we're gonna try to, go towards the teachers and like bigger, like the dealerships and stuff like that. We will offer delivery if they want to like come in with an order of 10 to 20, we'll deliver them to them. Because a lot of people are like, well, I can't, I gotta get to work.
Right.
And you can't have 15 waiting in line for a drink. If the dealership or like Westville or the school out there, they all want to, call in and make an order, we'll get it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Need a motion to send it to Keith.
So moved.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yeah.
Trustee Mitchell? Trustee Washkoviac?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yes.
Trustee Weidenberger?
Yes. Go ahead, Joe.
I'll hustle so you guys can get your lift on. Oh, you're on. Okay, I'm Joe. I'm helping the village out with their drainage program. I'd like to give you guys an update at the meeting of what's been happening. So since I spoke with you at the last meeting, September 5th, I used Kickapoo Adventures. The river was closed for a while, so I walked it previously, but I did get a chance to get the kayaks down. So I rented the kayak from them, and they bring us from the Kickapoo Landing over to Butler Creek. That's where the Salt Fork and the Middle Fork merge, just upstream of Shangri-La Bridge. And I became 6 miles downstream, and I took photos of a lot of conditions. There's some tires, and there's a few cuts into the bank that I've seen the last couple of years, and some rip wrapping and a trailer. And I think that the Tilton Arch Bridge, actually the cross section, that probably governs how much water gets through from those streams, on down through Tilton, because of the cross section there. It's kind of interesting.
Talking about the railroad bridge?
Yeah, the railroad bridge.
I agree.
Yeah, I learned I have some pictures of that. You can kind of see how the cross sections of the rivers are, the way that old retaining wall. I'm not so sure that the south side hasn't even collapsed a little bit out into the river even further. That seems to kind of govern the big flows, it looks like to me, just eyeballing the rest of it. And so when I get to the North Fork and you go upstream up to the Ellsworth Park in Danville, you can see they kind of carry the kayaks upstream, because during most of the time that the low flow is, And so that's kind of difficult. It kind of sinks down in. There's a lot of debris. I kind of think that it might be helpful to kind of get little bricks and things up on the bank and a better channel up into Ellsworth Park. And so here's a couple of those pictures, Mayor. You can pass those around if anybody's interested. And then the other thing is there's 2 yellow flags that mark that spot, and then they go up to the boat launch. Also, what we've been working on is we've taken 750 observations with the total station. That's where they hold the rod measurements over there by the public works facility where the sewer maintenance equipment is. And that's where I'm at with it. And Mayor, I want to get this to you, but I want to get with TJ and get on the inside of the building and make measurements for partitioning, because it's a little different than what the prints were. And then maybe a better idea where everybody thinks all the underground facilities are, the utilities, and get those items onto the map. And so maybe in the next couple of weeks, if I can get in there, I'll make the measurements and then we'll get that CAD'd into the map. You know, getting the buildings and the floor drains measured in. And in addition to that, I went ahead after speaking with you last meeting, Mayor, about maybe extending that topography out into the park area around the ball fields and then down around to this facility here for maybe road improvements in the future and where the underground things are. And I figured I'd have about 4 days out in the field with my survey helper and then about the same amount of time in CAD than the other odds and ends. And that's, I think I can fit that in this fall if I can get that approved. And we would go through and make a nice map. I think that would be useful for the I-74 project, using that data, the sewer plant data, what we have in the public works facility. Then like when you're having festivals and things, you can kind of work on your layout, where the vendors are and how they would connect and things of that nature. And then if you ever decide to do some improvements on the roadways and how the drainage and grading for dust control and things might be.
We're definitely gonna do improvements on the roadways.
And so that's what I was proposing there to do that.
5,250, Joe?
Yeah, that's what I have for about 10.
That's adding up to the highway, right?
Yeah, it'd be up to the highway and picking up the ball fields and up to the tree lines. We wouldn't be down into the trees very much. It's kind of full of things, but along the park where all your underground utilities are, your underground electric, the dugouts, the pavilions, measuring those in, your drainage ways and where the fences are, and making a nice map of that and then figure out, well, if we decide to do some paving improvements in the future or whatever other items you might need there, we would have that map to help us with that. And then also I did get the information from the cleanups, the senior cleanup and the cleanup at the park, and I pulled that all together. And I have some rough numbers that I offered the information that I had in here. So at the park cleanup, looks like they took 4 30 cubic yard containers. There were 85 participants, and it looked like Public Services took the material to the landfill. I estimated about $24.60 per cubic yard after calculating everything through. One thing that was a little different in there was they have the fuel surcharge and the environmental fee, but it was mixed in with a bunch of other things. So I called over there and got into accounting, and they were able to give me a ballpark figure on every time they move a truck, they have that extra fee. So then I used that to then recalculate and put that in the spreadsheet. So that came to about $24.60 per cubic yard on that. And then also with the senior cleanup, that's where the village trucks and those crews and equipment went around, and there was set outs in town. It looked like there was 111 residents. 36 of those were from the low income area. It looks like there were 16 village truckloads totaling 13.56 tons. And I calculated that out to be about $359.60 per ton. And they're still getting those minimum weight charges then. So with the smaller trucks, you know, when there's lighter loads, I know you try to compact them down. I always thought it'd be nice if they would waive those for that particular cleanup, since there's, 36 of those are from the low income area. And then maybe some of those funds could be used to pick up some of the trash and things. And so I do intend to do some outreach. Hopefully I can make it to this one this Saturday. We're supposed to kind of do outreach measures. The Vermilion County Fall Festival is down here in the park, and they're going to do a river cleanup up that North Fork section. I went to it last year, and I spoke to the people with Pride Grows and Keep Vermilion County Beautiful, and we removed snow blowers. And well, when I did the walk down in there, there's tires in there, and now we know there's a tire cleanup. And underneath the boat ramp there where they get the kayaks out, that's washed out underneath there. And so I'm gonna, if the engineers with the city are there or their officials, I'm gonna bring that to their attention to see, let them know. And there's some bridge parts and some pipes and some other things. And so doing some of those outreach measures where they're cleaning up. I've noticed during those items, when I'm on these cleanups, the areas that's easy for the fishermen to get, people that are fishing to get to, they tend to leave a lot of debris and the containers from the baits and things on the bank. And so those are areas where I noticed that there's a lot of solid waste left around. So that's September 17th at the Ellsworth Park Fall Festival from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And so they're supposed to meet at the footbridge in Ellsworth Park by the Pride Groves trailer to clean up the riverbanks and the surrounding park area. So bring gloves if you like and wear appropriate clothing and shoes, as overgrowth may irritate cause skin things. So some of these tires and things I've noticed, but I'm going to be trying to kind of do more communication about this path to get the kayaks up the river, because your section through Tilton along the river, the kayaks were able to get down through there easily, but then we had to walk upstream, and it's a tough walk. And so in the future, what I'm going to do is continue the public works facility monitoring and mapping. I want to do some green infrastructure mapping. So green infrastructure means wet weather management approaches and technology that utilize, enhance, or mimic the natural hydraulic cycle process of infiltration, evapotranspiration, and reuse. Green infrastructure approaches currently in use include green roofs, trees and tree boxes, rain gardens, vegetated swales, pocket wetlands, infiltration planters, porous and permeable pavements, porous piping systems and dry wells, vegetated medians, reforestation and vegetation, rain barrel cisterns, and protection and enhancement of riparian buffers in floodplains. So a lot of these would be like floodplains of a map where these are located, but one of the things there's probably a lot of around here are these vegetated swales, which water goes down, it helps clean up the silt, and the vegetation might soak up some of the water and it slows it down. And then every once in a while they have to be cleaned out instead of sludge and things being in the rivers and other areas that it's cleaned out and managed. The other, and speaking of that, down there on Washington Avenue, I do intend to make some measurements down there, Mayor, about how much debris is built up. The resident that's adjacent to us, McIntyre, I spoke with him. I seen him when I was out around town. He said he'd be excited about that being done.
Okay.
It's kind of a good time of year, it seems like, to do that. Will be maybe a low flow during the winter.
Yeah.
Then,
Probably now, too.
yeah, when the river, when it's low and a lot of silt from getting that out of there probably won't get down into the stream. And I was looking at the Army Corps permits to see where we fit in with that. And I'm still trying to get clarification on that. But there's also where I think just upstream of the Keegan Street Bridge, it kind of narrows down. There's an alleyway that's unimproved. And there's a power line through there. And it kind of chokes down there. It seems like that might back a lot of water up on top of some of those sewers upstream of that. And if everything's opened up all the way down on Route 1 up to that, to allow all your water to flow through smoothly. I know I spoke with Larry Johnson. He said they had planned for a sewer crossing there already in that area, and they didn't get a permit with the Corps of Engineers. So I don't know if that's something that we would want to think about. If that project ever goes down, if that maybe could be incorporated while the equipment's down there or something. It looks like there's just some rock that needs pulled up back down there, and there's a dead tree there. But it would definitely change the cross section, how much flow goes through on the stream at that location. And so continue updating. I did get the soil borings in from the consultant, MET. They did get us the soil borings. Here's a copy of the 20-page report. I've read through it. This is over at the ambulance station. Yep. They did 2 soil borings. And there's a lot of really good data in this about at the different depths, and they have some recommendations about the size, minimum sizes of footings and what load bearing capacities the soils would have. They must have checked the borings about a week afterwards, and the water table was about 6.8 feet to 6.5 feet. Now they kind of mentioned in here in the report that might have soaked in then through the sand bladers. So if you get into a basement or foundation drains, probably want to have a pretty good collection system around the exterior or something like that. And so I have read through there. There's a lot of detail. So if you have any questions, for me about that. This would be good information to have on that particular site when and if that gets developed. So the last thing on the list is I noticed over in, during the inspections over by Ellsworth Park, they had these West Nile virus. There's some sort of a surveillance. So I called over there to the county. I didn't get a chance to talk to Doug while he was here. And I did speak with Jana over there, and she said they have these at 21 locations. I said, are there any around Tilton? She said, she looked, she didn't think that there was. She thought that that Ellsworth Park one was probably the closest one. She said they did have one case of West Nile virus, but it was on the north end of Danville up by Walmart. And then they must test dead birds, and they had one sparrow that tested positive in downtown Danville. She said, if we want one in Tilton, we would talk to them in spring. She said there used to maybe be one back by the ballpark if you have mosquitoes around the treatment plant or.
We're a bunch of tough folks out here.
What's that?
We're a bunch of tough folks.
Well, she said they would be willing to maybe locate one in the area if you thought there'd be a good location for one. And so that's kind of an update of what's happened with Ron Dunn and like that survey is something I'd like to fit in this fall. If you do that. So does anybody have any questions for me?
Can we look at it before we do it?
Yeah.
Right now? He's gonna have approval right now?
No.
How about we review this and we'll get your approval, we'll get your yea or nay by next board meeting.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Moving on. Cemetery investment.
Want me to do it?
Yeah, you can.
We've got, we've had CDs for years and years for Summer Cemetery, and we've never used them. And I don't remember what Catlin went down to, but it.
0.25.
0.25. I talked to an investment broker. We can get 2 years for 3.55. So we're going to take about 40,000 and invest it for 2 years. Still leaves us about the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for an emergency, because that'd be the only reason
It's,
why we need it anyway.
yeah, our original investment was 33,461.06.
That was at Iroquois, wasn't it?
Well, it was Catlin, Iroquois, but the rates got low. We sold a lot of columbarium spaces for future use. Our account is built up. We normally carry about 30 to 35,000 in there. This is even with a $40,000 investment, will keep us above what we usually have in there.
So what are we leaving in the account after?
51.
We have,
I mean, if you guys want to invest more,
no, what's that money used for? Not obviously not maintenance of the.
it kind of just builds up because we haven't
Emergency
really
fund
done
more than
anything. We
anything,
bought the columbarium several years ago with it. We've bought a shed out there. We've done some things with some of the stones, like helped fix them and stuff. We got some different things, but it just kind of builds up because when we do an opening and closing, we have to pay events, but we get paid by the funeral home. So it builds.
How's the space out there at this point?
We got 1,100 places, yeah.
What about the call, what about the,
Column barrel is getting short, but
Oh,
we
there's
still
still
got
probably-
plenty of them in
We
there.
have
Still
enough to buy
probably
another
40 or so, 50 empty ones.
where?
No.
Columbarium.
Well,
No.
I mean,
No,
it's, at first, we had a while for it to take
How
off,
many's
but
in the
once it
front?
took off.
32
Because
I
we
know
just
how
sold
many
$9,000
niches, I say, how
last
many
month,
buried.
and
right now, or how many are sold?
How much did that thing cost? I know
How many-
obviously it's gonna be a lot more.
how
than
many
what it was.
sold?
Do you
What
remember
both?
off the top of your head?
it was
Probably
like
over half.
16, I think,
15 maybe.
Yeah.
Over half.
So you're probably looking
Of them.
30 now.
30
Yeah.
probably.
The whole backside sold.
Well, I think
I
we
know the
definitely have to
backside,
start
I'm not
looking
even
probably.
talking about it, the north end's got that tied up.
I hope keep
It
going.
did cost around
But I
They
mean,
could.
30.
The
once
front.
we had
How many,
everything.
what's the number we have in the available spots in the?
Probably 25, 20, 25,
on the front side only, just about.
And
Yeah.
what's total does it hold?
64.
So probably within a year's time, we probably, maybe. even
Right,
later,
yeah.
probably start
Yeah.
looking at- Why don't we start the venture of looking at what it's gonna cost?
I'll
Yeah,
make a
I can
motion
contact
that
that
we
company.
invest
They have a
this
lot
money.
of different options. There's lots of different shapes,
But I don't want to come down to a time where we're like, somebody wants to come in. but
We're out.
We're out.
I think we're still good for.
I'm okay with this, but I think we need to start looking into that project.
I'll make a motion.
What are we motioning?
The,
What are we
It's
asking, 40,000?
40,000 in LPL.
And that'll leave us, you said.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Mitchell,
Yes.
trustee Westcoviac,
Yes.
trustee Weir,
Yes.
trustee Weidenberger.
Yes.
Mike, you have anything?
Just kind of a
How's that picture? So you gotta go over it now.
deal from our Cruiser Town Tilton. One was to say thank you to obviously several of people in the room, from police, fire, public works, VMS. Everybody had a great showing over there. A lot of teamwork getting things done. So it was very fun. Proved that the car show on Friday night was definitely a good thing to do. So nice to see everybody come together. As far as each one of you got an income statement from it, there was a grand total of $16,017.80 raised. So both departments will get about a little over $8,000 each. So
Yes, it is.
Fantastic.
almost what doubled. We did double.
We did double. We were just shy of 8 grand last year for total, so. We had about 91 cars Friday night show up.
He was worried.
Yeah, but
He was a little worried.
yeah.
Well, Crispin did have one that they had about 70 hours, so, but, we had a really good turnout on both days.
Like to get, we'll get with Butch as well, but get some ideas on what we want to, some wants or whatever, and keep everybody informed on what we buy and the public, because it makes it a lot easier when they know what's going on with the funds to go through and do it again next year. And as you see, the business sponsorships were almost a little over $6,000. So there's a lot of community and involvement rallied behind it from both Tilton and Danville. So much appreciated. So good job.
You got anything else, Mike?
So we're good.
Oh, yeah, Ryan.
Again, just to reiterate what Mike said, just big thanks to everybody. Really big thanks to the first responders. We had a really good core group this year that really stuck with us all weekend. Actually, most of them a lot of them are sitting in the room now. And Brandy popped her heart away on popcorn and cotton candy machine, so she's probably tired of seeing that by the time the weekend was over. But we actually had a really good turnout, and again, it makes it all worthwhile, especially for the contributors when they come out and they see that our first responders that are there. Also, huge thanks to Troy, his partner, Ronan, for coming out, and TPD for coming out and putting on an awesome demonstration. Really gave a chance for the community to see what a vital asset that Ronan makes to the village of Tilton, and what a great investment he was.
I do have a question I've seen on Facebook today where an Illinois State Police dog got a vest. Has that been talked about at all?
It has been talked about,
but they're not used as often as you would think, because it can actually overheat
Okay.
the dog,
Gotcha.
especially in hot weather in the summertime when they're out, so
Gotcha.
utilization of it sometimes doesn't.
Sure. I just seen it, thought maybe they'll ask about it.
Invite the police chief.
do us.
I'm disappointed he didn't invite the police chief.
Well, police chief is over there like we like to call him a proud grandpa moment. He's over there seizing the whole moment. But Phil, you've done a great job also with turning the Tilton Police Department around and getting some great guys on here. So thank you for all the hard work you guys do. And then one last thing before I turn it over to Virgil. There's a photographer here locally in Tilton that I'm going to reach out to and have him build a quote. Not only to get our lovely faces on the wall, but as well as the employees and going as far as first responders as well. Our equipment, maybe 1 or 2 events throughout the year, as well as some facility photos, and try to build that quote together to see if it'd be something that would be feasible for us to do. And I think it'd actually be a great marketing tool for us. I know we're not a business, but we are here to represent the people. And I think showing the people the great progress that we make within the village and the great people we have working for us, to get on a new website, I think is beneficial. So probably be bringing that to the board here in the next few months. Just for knowledge.
I don't have anything else other than the investment.
Bob?
Just get ready. The October Fest, the first and second. We've got the Golden White Room Sales October 1st. And the event set up, the flea market 10 to 7. We're having a kids costume contest. We have 1 to 3, but we may shorten that up. 3 to 5 trunk or treat, and 4 to 7 Captain Rat and the Line Rivets. And then Sunday, that's the flea market again, and then we have a golf cart parade, 1 o'clock. Everyone has some prize money for the golf carts for the top 3. We usually have 25 to 30. We're going to do that and see if we can't get a couple more. And
Billy?
no, I have nothing.
Scotty?
DJ Scotty Scribbles.
Hey, no, I
Is that
got
who that was?
DJ Scribbles.
started
I saw
again.
the name, I was like, who's Scotty Scribble?
They sold you the same way? They got me riled up for me.
Okay, Curry pay estimate, 113,577.27. Midwest asphalt pay estimate is 288,660.96, which would be not payable until we get the funds from the controller's office.
But we have the funds for contracting. Or
MB, yeah.
This
Yeah.
Curry, is this work already performed?
Nope, it's stuff they had delivered. It's in
Oh.
storage,
material.
so it's material.
Oh, and while we're on that, I don't know, did anybody show Virgil that message or that email from Larry Johnson
Oh, about the pipe?
about the pipe?
Yeah, pipe deterioration.
Okay.
I just asked Overmar about it today.
Sorry, that was my bad. We were busy with the event and I forgot to get with you. He emailed me and let me know, and provided some case study as well, that decoloration does not change the functioning of the pipe. It does not, it's still fully
Inside
functional.
integrity. still-
Yeah, the integrity, everything's there. It's just decoloration is normal from the environment, but it's
Faded.
not, it's still usable. And he
That's
has case study if you want to read.
that's just about what Tom Overmar told me this
Yeah.
morning, so,
But he knew you were concerned about it, so he wanted to make sure
okay,
that, you know, if
thank
you don't, you know.
thank you.
It was him.
Both of you.
Make sure to
Both of your names. were on.
Yeah, that's what it says too.
Yeah, I think your name is on there too.
Need,
Need a motion?
we need a motion to pay them out on the return of the funds from the controller's office.
So moved.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Mitchell, trustee Westcoviac,
Yes.
trustee Weir,
Yes.
trustee Whitenburner.
Yes.
314 Brentwood, we tore a house down and it's a lot. We tried to advertise it for 5,000. You guys want to reduce it to 3, so we.
Yes.
No. 5,000.
No.
Just do a better time posting it. We're mowing it, right?
Yeah,
You know how much fuel it is?
yeah.
And wages to mow that? Leave it at 5, we'll post it better. Okay, fine, 3,500.
There you go.
You making that motion?
Yes.
Yep, 3,500.
Second, shit.
$500 could pay for some gas, man.
That's right, right now.
The pheasants are there.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets,
Yeah.
trustee Mitchell, trustee Washkoviac,
Yes.
trustee Weir,
Yeah, you all right?
We just need a couple more W's on the board.
trustee Weidenberger.
We're having a last name contest.
This ain't even
Got
nice.
that one done.
Yes.
Motion for intergovernmental agreement to Danville Sanitation District for use of other equipment and at rental rate, when the equipment's available.
For us or them?
When it's
For us, both of us.
What do we use of theirs?
both ways.
Nothing right now, but we might need something. They ain't asked yet.
They also have large pumps.
Yes.
You what?
I'm
Large,
just asking, I didn't know, just for knowledge.
big
I don't
pumps
care.
and,
When it's available.
Plus, they also have the land.
yep, yeah, we might need that too.
That one's good.
Yeah, they're finally getting theirs together, but we might need the lab too. We might
They
need,
have a lab?
yeah, yeah,
Even better.
yes.
I make the motion.
Second.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Mitchell, trustee Washkoviac,
Yes.
trustee Weir,
Yes.
trustee Weidenberger.
Yes.
Ordinance 2022-0915, authorizing disposal of municipally owned surplus real property.
The 25-foot strip. we talked
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
Had that.
Had to ordinance it.
yeah,
Who's that good for you?
for that house on Third Street.
That they've
Look
been
at what we-
fixing up.
Where's the Emerson?
Huh?
Did you sell it to them or give it?
No.
I don't remember.
No, they own the house, but they wanted that strip behind it that we owned.
Give it to them?
That, yeah,
It's like 25 by,
yeah.
2 foot.
Wait, let me ask you, are we mowing it?
No.
Not right now. He's mowing it.
I was asking, I'm trying to get, I'm trying.
Yeah, the owner of the owner of the current property owner is mowing it.
the lots were donated to us like
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
Don't even smile over there, because you said, you see this long list of mowing lots, I'm trying to get rid of them. Or at least recoup some money.
So we need a motion on that ordinance.
So moved.
Who's second?
You said no.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Mitchell, trustee Washkoviac,
Yes.
trustee Weir,
So Lori,
trustee Weidenberger.
Lori's got something too.
Election packets will be available starting Tuesday, September 20th.
Who's up? That's you, right? That's up there. Who's up?
It's Verge, Bob,
I'm Scott.
and Scotty,
Yeah, you.
Yes.
you had-
Mike too.
and Mike.
He has to
for-
run too.
Now, you ran for a 2-year unexpired term.
Because you
So
got-
now you're gonna run for a
I'm just keeping
4-year.
my signs up. I'm not-
Hey, join the club.
So that's gonna happen to Mike. He's got the 2-year unexpired term.
Yeah, because we haven't made it halfway yet.
Yeah.
And Mike, I'll go in half with the signs, we'll split them.
When did you say they were available?
Tuesday. I haven't looked to see when they return them and stuff, but
So, it's Constitution Week proclamation of September 17th through the 23rd of 2022.
you actually are supposed to read this.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Make a motion to sign.
There you
Second.
I want you to read it first.
go. Oh, no, you read it.
I want you to make, it. You know what? Never mind, I'm not gonna say that.
Trustee Finley,
Yes.
trustee Sheets,
Yes.
trustee Mitchell,
Yes.
trustee Koviac,
Yes.
trustee Weir,
Yes.
trustee Weidenberger.
Dave follows it to the letter.
Yes, yours, and our neighbors to the north like to make the proclamations and they read it out loud.
I know.
I want to hear you read it, and then hit your gut.
Okay, I have assigned you to read that.
No. You already volunteered me to do a lot of things.
Colin told me.
The other thing too, just a couple more things and I'll be done. One thing is, we passed the ordinance last month for the city administrator. So I like to appoint Tiffany Jones, city administrator, and Cassie Work as the treasurer. So we need approval to do
Are
that.
they appointed or are they hired?
They're appointed.
Is it on our agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Yeah.
Is that what you're waiting on?
Yep.
Okay. I'll make the motion.
Hold on, slow down.
I didn't know, well, I didn't know you had to have a motion for an appointment.
Yeah, you do.
What does it
Just
say
like
effect?
policemen.
What does it say effect?
It's gonna take me about a year to train her.
Yeah.
It's gonna take about a year for me to get trained.
Yeah. So effective today, so they can start their training.
It's one of those crazy deals where you gotta be in office to be trained.
Okay, who's got the first?
Billy
I'll
does.
make a motion.
Second.
Trustee Finley?
Yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Mitchell? Trustee Westcoviac?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yeah.
Trustee Weidenberger?
Yes.
I want to name TJ as my assistant.
Yeah, it might be a headache.
Does that mean everything that you wrong falls back on her?
Yes. Doug's got something else.
That's your thing.
Anybody else have anything? Public? Anybody else? Nope. Need a motion to adjourn. So moved.
So,
Trustee Finley?
yes.
Trustee Sheets?
Yes.
Trustee Mitchell? Trustee Westcoviac?
Yes.
Trustee Weir?
Yeah.
Trustee Weidenberger?
Hold on, we're not. Okay, you're good to say what I